Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ron, your host, and if you see that I might be yawning a little bit, I am a little tired because I'm recording this really late. But I want to get this video out, so I really want to get to review the next movie, and I'm welcoming you to the next I'm welcoming you to my review of Trumbo from 2016. Let me look at the back of the DVD. 2015, I do believe. 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. Now, this is the biopic about Dalton Trumbo. For those who don't know, Dalton Trumbo was a screenwriter from the old Hollywood who was blacklisted in 1947. I'll kind of read what the back says in the movie. In 1947, Dalton Trumbo, Bryan Cranston, was Hollywood's top screenwriter until he and the other artists were jailed and blacklisted for their political beliefs. Trumbo, which actually was directed by Jay Roach, something like that, recounts how Dalton used words and wits to win 2 Academy Awards and expose the opacity and injustice of the blacklist, which enlisted everyone from gossip columnist Helen Hopper, which is Hal Mirren's character, to John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, and Otto Preminger. The film also stars Diane Ladd, John Goodman, Louis C.K., Elle Fanning, and Michael Skarsgård. That's the cast that I said on the back. So yeah, what did I think of? I'm going to tell you right now, this movie is great. Let's actually talk about Trumbo. Now, Trumbo is a movie. This was released actually by Bleecker Street, which is a company I have covered on the channel. Groundswell, I believe they also made Milk. I could be wrong. And yeah, this movie was really good. Stellar cast. Phenomenal acting by Bryan Cranston. Honestly, I think he looks exactly what I would think of Dalton Trumbo. Now, Dalton Trumbo had a shorter mustache. In the film version, his mustache was a lot bigger. So right off the beginning, he's writing things. He's a writer and he's successful. Until they go out to the movies and watch a newsreel, and he's now a communist. So now he gets out of the theater. Some random guy comes up to him and says, "Were you on that news? Were you on the news footage?" "Oh, why, yes, I am." So he spills coffee all over the guy. So the guy spills coffee on Trumbo, and he ain't too pleased. And the whole thing, they think, oh well, he's not part of that. So now there's a Congress, and he has to go and explain to tell people that I should have every right to do something. Well, turns out the guy that was supposed to get him out has passed on. Now this also has Alan Tudyk, who's also in this movie. He plays another guy who's a writer. So as soon as they were pitching the script to Roman Holiday to Paramount, they found that the guy passed on and was like, well, I'm going to jail. So yeah, he goes to prison, and yes, he has to suffer there while he's miserable because he's been blacklisted, and his folks are crying, and his kids are crying, and like that. So then years pass as we get into 1950, and now he's out of prison. He meets up and reunites with his family, but now he's the most hated person in the world. There's a scene I really do like, and this will be whatever I get into. So he meets a guy. Trumbo meets a man played by John Goodman. He plays the head at Kings Road Inc., I do believe, Kings Road Pictures. So he head of that and says, hey, will you make the movie? Well, before he got blacklisted, he worked for a director who says, I see this again, I do not want you to do that again, or I can't hire you to write my movies. So that's that. So now we get into John Goodman. I hope I'm not confusing everybody. So John Goodman's the president at Kings Road Pictures. So as soon as it is, The wife and daughter are about ready to take a swim in the pool, though. And then as soon, yeah, they're excited because they got new swimsuits. So all of a sudden now they get in there, and Trumbo gets a letter saying welcome to new neighborhood trader. So now he gets written get out, and then there's like fish, dead animals, all that stuff, and the kid's like screaming and the wife's questioning why. So that's that. So now he gets the Oscar for Roman Holiday, but he goes by different alias. So he strategizes a plan that he's not going to be one who does it, some other people do. So he gets Oscars, then he writes the big film Spartacus for Stanley Kubrick, and Kirk Douglas comes over. Yes, a young Kirk Douglas comes over. Right out the beginning, we get director Otto Preminger, who is like, I am Otto Preminger. He holds the script of Spartacus. I thought it was the movie he was going to write, but no, he offers him to write Exodus. And he's like, okay. And all of a sudden he's like, I am Otto Preminger. I'm a director. So he has no choice but to let him. It's like, please come in. So now the wife introduces him in. He's like, I am Otto Preminger. Oh, come on in. So he lets the man in, and yes, I want you to direct. Not direct, I want you to write. I want you to write my movie, but don't mess this up. So now Spartacus was released. So Kirk Douglas visits Dalton and tells him about Spartacus. But I will tell you this, I never expected Kirk Douglas to be ignorant. Half the time he's more like a jerk who wants to make sure things are right. Like he'll be in the cutting room, he'll talk to another guy while he's getting his makeup and paint on his chest for rehearsal. And yeah, they made him out to be a jerk. Now, I don't know Kirk Douglas. I don't know if he was a jerk on set. I don't know. So now they get on track. Then later, yeah, I'm not going to spoil how it ends, but I think I talked so long about this. Let's actually get my thoughts with it. I think this movie's great, as I said. There's some great performances. Elle Fanning, I was surprised. I didn't even know that was Elle Fanning, and it was like the hair and I was like, wow, they must have dyed her hair. And I was like, yeah, that Elle Fanning was unrecognizable. Oh, let's talk about Helen Mirren as Helen Hopper. She's the woman that turns Dalton Trombone. She's like the nastiest person ever. She tries to turn him in, and he knows Dalton Trombone wrote these scripts, but he's been lying the whole time. So now she's trying to crack to see why he's doing that. I think I already said most of everything about this movie, but Diane Ladd plays his wife, who's really good in this too, and just really, really awesome. What I meant to say was, the performances are great. John Goodman's good. Louis C.K. plays another assistant. So I like the scene where he gets the Trumbo and another guy gets the Oscar. They get it for Roman Holiday. Now they place the Oscar on the table side. Who is going to take home this Oscar? They have to pick who's going to take it, and it's great. But he says, oh, but your name's on it. No, you wrote the thing, so they can't decide. But the ending is so powerful. The message at the end, not going to tell. The movie pretty much ends at March of 1970. So it ends with the speech, but that's all I'm going to clearly say about the film. Stellar performances, stellar cast, great work. I believe Cranston as a director, not director, but playing Trombone is just phenomenal. The scene where he gets into the jail, they shave the mustache off, and like, wow, unrecognizable. Later on, he does get the mustache back. So, at the end of the day, it does end with a bittersweet message at the end, talking about the blacklist movement. let me explain about Blacklist for those who don't know. Back in the old Hollywood, if you did something wrong or you were part of the communist move, you were now put on blacklist. Lots of people have been put on the blacklist. Some have gotten out. Another actor who has gotten blacklisted, which I didn't know, was Norman Lloyd. He was an actor from the golden age of Hollywood. Some people know him as the headmaster in Dead Poets Society, and he has a small role as the headmaster of What's the Matter You in the 2000 Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. But he was blacklisted, and Hitchcock got him out of blacklist and say, "Hey, will you produce will you direct a few? No, will you produce and direct a few episodes of my show? If you do that, I'll take you off blacklist." And that was one of the few actors that got off blacklist. There's a ton of people who have been blacklisted, but yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention the director. This was directed by Jay Rauch. He was the same man who brought the Austin Powers trilogy to the screen. So that's like the only other thing. He's done a bunch of movies. He directed Cranston before this in the HBO special All the Way, the story about Lyndon Baines Johnson, LBJ. He played that role. And that's how he was casted in this. Also, fun fact, Cranston and Goodman would reunite with each other since Argo from director Ben Affleck. So they acted each other in the movie Argo, and from 2012. So yeah, I don't have much to say about this. I think this is a stellar movie. This is really good. This is another tough one that I went kind of back and forth between each other, because as I was watching the film, there's a really powerful message at the end. I'm not going to tell you how that comes. Oh, the only other Trumbo movie I ever saw was Papillon, which would be his last film he wrote, the last screenplay he wrote, which was Papillon with Steve McQueen. So I think I'm getting ahead of myself right now. Michael Scoresburg, let's go for the complaints before I wrap this up. The guy who played John Wayne, I don't think was the right choice to play John Wayne. He looked nothing like the Duke. He didn't sound like anything like the Duke. And he was just in there for a couple scenes. But Michael Strasberg, he was really good. He played Edward G. Robertson, who he was close friends with him. In fact, at the beginning of the movie, they're filming an Edward G. Robertson movie. Like, he stumbled on the shot, which was more like a blooper. Then he stumbles and he says, "Shit, cut." And he's like, and then another scene where the daughter comes in, which is Elle Fanning's character. He's saying, "Look, I'm trying to write a script. I'm trying to write a script. Don't you see him writing a script?" And then it's my birthday. Which, where there was a fire going on, I'm in my bathroom writing the script. And then she goes and bawls, and the wife is not happy. So I want to bring those scenes up. The whole movie is just at the end of the day, guys, yes, I can recommend Trumbo. Yes, this is a great movie. And this is going to be a hard rating to rate the movie. This movie is an R-rated movie, so just letting you know ahead of time, don't go expecting this. This is one of the best biopics I've ever watched on screen. And this is another one where I'm very tempted to put this on my 10 best list, but I have no clue where I'm going to put in the 10 best list. But I'm sure enough it's probably going to squeeze in there somewhere. I'll think about it. If not, this will be an honorable mentions for sure. So yeah, if you have not seen Trumbo, give this movie a watch. Phenomenal performances, stellar cast, Bryan Cranston, talk about an actor. Jay Rauch, from watching Austin Powers and The Campaign, talk about a director. I was surprised he went from doing comedies to making more dramatic films like this. It's that good. I'm just going to say right now, guys, if you've not seen this, definitely check this out. I think I got this at a Dollar Tree a couple years back. So and I was like, this was definitely $1 well worth spent. So let's go ahead and rate this movie, guys. I'm going to give Trumbo a 4 out of 5. This was kind of hard picking back and forth between whether I give it a 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5. I just couldn't decide. Honestly, if I was doing half stars, I'm not really 100% sure if I'm going to do halves in it. I feel like if I do halves, that's kind of cheating. But in a case like that, I locked into the 4 out of 5 because of those minor nitpicks. The guy playing John Wayne, I didn't think was a good John. Did not think he was the best person to portray John Wayne. But, I mean, your mileage may vary. You might think he was great as that. For me, it didn't work. And that's why I bumped it down a point for that. So, yeah, check out Trumbo. Really, really good stuff. And I can highly recommend you seek this movie out. Check it out. If you like biopics, if you want to know the history of the Blacklist, this is the movie for you to check out. I mean, this is a movie you should definitely check out, is what I meant to say. So that's my review of Trumbo. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the content of the channel, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get all my video notifications so you don't miss a single video. I'm also a Letterboxd guy, so I rate the movies before I review them. I also have, like I said, in addition to the hit UVs, I also have Vlog City, the Vlog City series that you guys can go ahead and check out if you want to. And pretty much, yeah, check out Trumbo. Good stuff. So yeah, that's it. And as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.